Hello ladies and gents, it's the Beanie 101 here with another video about NHL 16, and you know as well as I know that EA Sports have divulged a lot of information about next year's game. They've released a lot of information about the new features, but what I'm going to talk about today specifically is some of the gameplay enhancements that they've announced, as well as some of the presentation and customization options you have in next year's game. And that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to roll a little bit of footage here, and this is a returning feature that has been requested and that they obviously couldn't fit into last year's game, and that is the action tracker. This is really good for a number of reasons. Firstly, you can look back at all of your plays, all of your goals, all of your hits, all of your penalties, all of these kind of things. They're going to be in the action tracker, so you can save replays. For montage makers, it's great. For people that are wanting to hound out specific glitches and all those kind of things, they're going to be on the action tracker. You're going to be able to see them. You're going to be able to download them. You're going to be able to share your clips with your friends. Really good thing, and it also means that you don't have to watch every single replay in game. You can skip those goddamn replays, which makes the game flow a whole lot better for people that just want to play the goddamn game. Next up is I suppose customization options. You're going to see a few screenshots here, and this is going to be some of the faces that they've added to your player type when you want to edit a player or you want to create a player. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm quite impressed. These are all faces that I've not seen before, so it's all brand new stuff. There's some slightly new hairstyles. I quite like the fact that some of the hairstyles are a little bit more contemporary, and it's not, you know, you've got more options. You've got so many more options. The thing that I'm disappointed about that they haven't necessarily announced yet, and I hope they do, is something like EA Sports Game Face. It's in a lot of EA Sports games already. It's in FIFA, it's in Madden, it's in UFC, it's in what was Tiger Woods, but I think is now PGA Tour, although, you know, the new game I don't know about. But Game Face is something that, you know, really adds something to your customization and really personalizes your character to you. So we haven't heard any details about it. If they can add it, then that's bloody beautiful. If not, then I think we've got enough customization options to play with, because if we move on from player faces, we have all the usual sort of stuff that you expect from the last few iterations of NHL. Things like being able to change your equipment, so your helmet, your pads, if you're a goalie, your skates, your stick, that kind of thing. But you've got a few other new bits and pieces. You can add ear guards to your helmet. You can change your visor to a slightly greater degree. You can add skate guards to your skates. If you're a D-man, you want to block some pucks, maybe you want to add some skate guards to your skates. You can also change the way that you tape your stick from the shaft all the way down to the blade. And you can also change the lace color on your skates. So if you want to be the next Ovi and you want to be rocking yellow laces, then you can do exactly that. The best thing about all of this sort of stuff is you also have a full color palette to change all of these things. So you're not actually limited to the colors that EA want you to use. You have a full customization option for the colors that you use for your, you know, your stick tape and your lace color. So this is all good stuff. This is all giving us more optionality, which is great. The other thing that they've added, and this is purely cosmetic, but I know it's a feature that has been requested for a long time: beards. Specifically playoff beards, but you can see from the screenshots that I have showing right now that you have beards that lay over the top of the faces that they have. So it allows you even more customization options over what you already have. You select a face, you select a beard, and you can select a starting length, and you can select a length that it grows to in the playoffs, which is brilliant. You can have, you know, a little bit of stubble to start the season, and then as you get deeper in the playoffs, you can have a full-grown monster of a beard. So these are things that are pretty good. You know, like I say, purely cosmetic, but I like the fact that you can play the Stanley Cup and all of the players have a beard. It's always looked a little bit unusual to me playing the Stanley Cup final and no one having a beard, everyone being relatively clean shaven. You can change all of that stuff now. That's really good. One of the other things they've changed, arenas. Now, they did a lot of work, I think, to the presentation elements of last year's game. You have Doc and Eddie, you have the NBC overlay, and you have some of the shots in the crowds where you've got some crazy fans doing mental stuff. They've taken that one step further. Firstly, you've got mascots, and you've got notable mascots for every single team. So the thing that they pointed out is the LA Kings mascot, but I'm hoping to see things like the Green Men in Vancouver by the penalty box. I'd love to take a penalty in Vancouver and see the Green Men like dancing around outside the penalty box, giving me grief. That'll be good to see. You've got greater crowd interaction. They interact with the mascots and they walk around and they move around the arena a little bit more. And you also have arena-specific things. So you have like the cannon at Columbus's arena. You've got the flames that fly up in Calgary. You've got the players skating out from the Shark's Mouth in San Jose. So there's a lot more things that they've done to the arenas that just make things a bit more authentic. They're things that are nice to have, and they are things that just improve the presentation somewhat. But that's enough for presentation. I'm sure what you're all wanting to hear about is some of the gameplay enhancements that they have announced so far. And you know, I might be a little bit disappointed that I haven't seen any information about this, and this is about a defensive skill stick. It seems that Ramo was on the EA forums when they announced all of this information, and he was actually specifically asking how the community would want a defensive skill stick to be implemented and how they would want it to be designed. Now, for me, that suggests that it's not going to be in this year's game, which is disappointing. I'd love to have full control of my stick when I don't have the puck. Block passing lanes, you know, clog up, you know, try to get an offensive player to one side of the ice by directing him with my stick. You know all those kind of things. But it sounds like the defensive skill stick is not going to be in. What they have done is they've put vision control back. They've got what they call precision skating, which is not necessarily vision control, but apparently they have new controls to help you get into passing lanes. And they have controls which help you skating when you're on defense. And certainly when you're a D-man in the offensive zone, to straddle the blue line and to make sure that, certainly on the power play, you know, things like power play, you know, being able to use your points effectively on the power play. Too many times your AI and your own player, they have no sense of where the puck is. You play it back to the point and they reach their stick out behind the blue line and all of a sudden they drag it back and you're offside. I want that sort of shit fixed. And it sounds like that's some of the stuff that they've done. So that is some good stuff. You're going to have some skating enhancements. You're going to have vision control back. You're going to have some new ways on defense to control your player. And they've also added different puck pickups. So the puck is not going to be magnetized to your stick. When you are receiving a puck, you're going to be able to reach your stick out in particular directions depending upon the speed that you're going, and things like that. Maybe your puck control will have some sort of effect on how you receive the puck, but it sounds like there's loads of new animations that they've added to the game. Now, those guys that went out to Vancouver to play test the game, some of the things that they have said so far is, yes, the puck pickup stuff is a little bit janky at the moment and it maybe doesn't work as EA would intend, but I know it's an alpha build, so hopefully they will tweak that going forward. And they also say that a couple of other things that they haven't added, goaltender animations is something that they spoke about but they've not necessarily implemented yet. I really doubt they're going to be able to patch animations into the game, so I'm thinking that goaltender enhancements might be light on the ground this year. And they also say that in the current build, and this is a big one, right? This is a really, really big one. In the current build, you can't edit existing players. Now, it's an alpha build. I'm sure they can add an edit player. And this is a big thing for all of those guys that want to play a GM mode with enhanced attributes, with different attributes for certain players. As people progress and decline throughout the season, you have your own opinions on what players are like. So you want to be able to change existing players and their attributes for offline modes, certainly. If they haven't implemented that, if they haven't added that, then that's certainly a black mark against this year's game. But that's what we have. That's the information that we've seen so far about gameplay and customization enhancements. I hope you like the details that have been released so far. Let me know what sort of other things you want to see in NHL 16. What things do you really want in there from a gameplay standpoint, and also from a customization standpoint, from a presentation standpoint. These things are good things to have on the presentation side, but gameplay, you know, that's the key. You want a good on-ice product. So what things would you change? What things would you refine? Thanks ever so much for watching. I've been the Beanie 101. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of my content, if you want to see more NHL 16 information first. And I'll catch you again next time.